2021 considered the request of Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of this country on the confirmation of nominations of the Chief of Defense Staff and Service Chiefs of the Federation of Nigeria as follows. 1. Major General Irabor, Chief of Defense Staff. 2. Major Ibrahim Attahiru, Chief of Army Staff. 3. Admiral Awwal Zubairu, Chief of Naval Staff. 4. Vice Marshal Isiaka Olonisakin, Chief of Air Staff. The Senate referred the assignment to the Joint Committee via the votes and procedure of Wednesday, 10th February 2021, and the referral letter dated Thursday, 11th February 2021 for further legislative action, report back within 2 weeks. Methodology. The committee wrote to the Special Assistant to the President of the National Assembly Matters Senate to forward the following document of the nominees. 1. Curriculum vitae. 2. Credentials. 3. Birth certificate or age declaration. 3. NYSC discharge certificate. 4. Code of conduct form. Mr. President, my respected colleagues, there is no petition against any of the 5 or 4 nominees. Observations. The committee screened the CDS as one and the service chiefs collectively. We asked questions covering a wide range of subjects. Areas in which there were questions included: 1. Ethics and integrity. 2. Professional skill and experience. 3. Nigeria's war on terror and insurgency and banditry. 4. Funding of the military. 5. Strategic security knowledge and vision of the nominees. 5. Role of military in politics. 6. Interagency synergy. 7. Personnel and troops health and welfare. 8. Leadership style and temperament. 9. Strategic communication skill. 10. Decisiveness as a leader. 11. Decisiveness, external military hardware and upgrades. And finally, military-civilian relationship. These topics focus led to a lot of questions being put to the nominees. We are satisfied with the comprehensive and robust nature of the engagement and interactions with the nominees. At the end of the screening exercise of the nominees, the committee's findings are as follows. 1. That their nominations are in line with Section 217, Subsection 2A, B, C of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and in accordance with the provision of Section 18, Subsection 1 of the Armed Forces Act, Cap A20, Law of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. 2. That the committee did not receive any petition on the nominees. 3. That the nominees have been cleared by the Department of State Security Service. 4. That the nominees have presented their code of conduct at legitimate slip. 5. The nominees possess the required academic qualifications as well as wide range experiences to be the Chief of Defense Staff and Service Chiefs of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. 6. That they have experiences as seasoned public servants where they rose to the ranks of Major General, Rear Admiral, Air Vice Marshal that qualifies them for the positions of Chief of Defense Staff and Service Chief respectively. That the nominees were very articulate and meticulous in their response to questions by the committee. We recommend, therefore, as such, that the Joint Committee on Screening has carefully and thoroughly screened the 4 nominees and was satisfied with their qualifications, exposure, conduct, characters, experience, and general performance. The nominees have displayed wide and in-depth knowledge on strategic tactics and military operations. This Joint Committee of screening of nominated Chief of Defense Staff and Service Chiefs have been engaged extensively with the nominees and undertaken a detailed and comprehensive screening exercise according to law. We hereby recommend to Senate as follows. that Major General Leke E.O. Irabor be confirmed as the Chief of Defense Staff of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, having successfully undergone the screening process of this committee. 2, that Major General Ibrahim Attahiru be confirmed as the Chief of Army Staff of the Armed Forces of this country, having successfully undergone the screening process of this committee. 3, that Rear Admiral Awwal Zubairu be confirmed as Chief of Naval Staff of the Armed Forces of this country, having successfully undergone the screening process of this committee. 4, that Air Vice Marshal Isiaka Alao be confirmed as Chief of Air Staff of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, having successfully undergone the screening process of this committee. Above is hereby submitted to the Senate at plenary for consideration. Conclusion. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, on behalf of this joint Defense Committee, I wish to thank the leadership of the Senate and the entire senators for the confidence reposed in us to undertake this national assignment on behalf of the distinguished senators of this chamber. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you.
That going by the resume of these nominees, that they are highly capable and up to the task they are nominated for. The screening exercise also clearly shows this. Therefore, I think that without much ado, that this Senate gives its nod for the confirmation of these nominees. Because I believe, I think most of my colleagues here also believe, that these nominees are capable of spearheading our desire, our drive to bring security to this country. Therefore, as I said earlier, without much ado, the Senate should give the note for their confirmation. I so submit.
DSP.
Begin by commending Senator Wammako and his committee for a very thorough and terrific job. Mr. President, we are in very perilous times with the insurgency in the northeast, the banditry in the northwest, and north central most especially. Mr. President, for so long, and indeed so many times on this floor and on the floor of our sister chambers in the House of Reps, there was serious agitation for changes to be effected in the military leadership of the security agencies. Mr. President took his time and finally acceded to this request and these agitations. But in doing so, Mr. President, the President and Commander-in-Chief took his time to seek out the very best in the armed services. Mr. President, the intellect, the achievements, and the exploits of these nominees are very well documented in this report. Mr. President, speaking for myself, because of a personal relationship I share with some of these nominees, the nominee for Chief of Defense Staff, General Irabor, happens to be not just a constituent, but a friend I've known, Mr. President, for so many years, and I can personally attest and corroborate the Wammako recommendations as to his competence and his patriotism. In addition, Mr. President, the nominee for the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, is also a very, very personal friend, a friend I've known from his days as a lieutenant colonel and a colonel running the affairs of the JTF in Delta State at the time. And he displayed his prowess, Mr. President, in bringing and restoring calm to the very restive Niger Delta region at that time. Mr. President, I have no doubt that Mr. President has selected the very best team to pilot the affairs of the military establishments for the next how many years, as the case might be. So, Mr. President, I very wholeheartedly support this nomination and appeal to my colleagues to so confirm. Thank you, Mr. President.
Leader of Committee of the Whole. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Major General Ibrahim Attahiru as Chief of Army Staff? Those in favor will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Rear Admiral Awwal Zubairu Gambo as Chief of Naval Staff? Those in favor will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Air Vice Marshal Isiaka Amao as Chief of Air Staff? Those in favor will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, I rise to
All consider the report of the Committee on Defense on the screening of Mr. President's nominees for appointment as Chief of Defense Staff and Service Chiefs for the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and approve the nominations of 1 Major General Eluoye Onyenucheya Irabor, Chief of Defense Staff; Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, Chief of Army Staff; Rear Admiral Awwal Zubairu Gambo, Chief of Naval Staff; Air Vice Marshal Isiaka Amao, Chief of Air Staff, as Chief of Defense. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Thank you. Confirmation. Will the Senate Onyenucheya Irabor as Chief of Defense Staff? Those in favor will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Major General Ibrahim Attahiru as Chief of Army Staff? Those in favor will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Rear Admiral Awwal Zubairu Gambo as Chief of Naval Staff? Those in favor will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Air Vice Marshal Isiaka Amao as Chief of Air Staff? Those in favor will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Major General Eluoye Onyenucheya Irabor is hereby confirmed as Chief of Defense Staff. The nomination of Major General Ibrahim Attahiru is hereby confirmed as Chief of Army Staff. The nomination of Rear Admiral Awwal Zubairu Gambo is hereby confirmed as Chief of Naval Staff. The nomination of Air Vice Marshal Isiaka Amao is hereby confirmed as Chief of Air Staff. Congratulations to them, and like our colleagues, the DSP and others observed, there was so much calls for the replacement of the former service chiefs, and of course the President did that. Let me take this opportunity to thank the former service chiefs for doing their best, and also advise the new service chiefs, the Chief of Defense Staff and the new service chiefs, that Nigerians expect so much from them. We are in a very serious situation. The security situation must be improved, and the bulk is now going to stop on their tables as far as operations are concerned. We in the National Assembly, particularly in the Senate, will continue to support our armed forces in whatever way is possible. We believe that there is no better investment today in Nigeria, and indeed at any time, than investing in the security of our country to protect the lives and the property of our people. And therefore, we'll continue to support them, but we expect excellence. We expect them, our armed forces, to take the fight to the insurgents to take the fight to the bandits in a situation where bandits will come to a school, take over 300 students on motorcycles and disappear into the thin air without any trace is not acceptable. Something has to give, because apparently this is becoming an industry. Some people are benefiting from this, and we have to unravel who these people are and fight bandits and insurgents until we rescue our country. Let me also advise the service chiefs that there must be interagency cooperation. There must be interagency cooperation. The Army, the Air Force must coordinate their activities because they are supposed to have complementary roles, and so on and so forth. So with this, I wish them all the success, and we promise them, and indeed Nigerians, that we will support them in whatever way is possible that the Parliament will come to their support. Congratulations once again. Leader of the Senate.